In this video, I'm going to talk about the independent woman. Sharp Game coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So, I've been hearing for years, there's this quote, independent woman concept, way of being, or way of thinking that's been totally blown out of context. And the reason why that is, it's really a made up, something that somebody made up. I think this probably started in the late 60s, doing some feminist movement, and a lot of women got hoodwinked, basically. And majority of these women that talk the independent crap, they haven't really gotten anything out of it. They haven't really, and here's the deal. See, in America, you can live out your fantasies. You can live in a fantasy. And you can be this way forever until you get old, and then you're going to have to face reality then, because what usually happens with a lot of women is once they get old, they're not getting the attention that they used to get when they were younger. And the job that they have, they're trying to get rid of them out with the old and with the new women. So that's when a lot of these women get their wake-up call. And see, a lot of women that come over here from other countries, they don't have these privileges. They can't play out no fantasy in where they came from. So they come over here, a lot of them get taken advantage of, get ran through, they go through the same little thing. They'll get ran through. They'll get old. Their family's in chaos. Kids don't like them. They ran the husband away. And then when they get old, the company that they're with, out with the old, in with the new, same routine. So this is like a revolving door. This is like a cycle, basically. And see, a lot of women, I've had many conversations with women about this. So I asked them, what's an independent woman? And it's usually the same answer. I make my own money, pay my own bills, I got a car, I got a house. I'm like, that's it? I mean, the bar is low. Then I go on to say that, people are buying cars, clothes, and houses. People are doing that every day. You realize that, right? That's not really a big accomplishment. I think maybe it might be a big accomplishment for you. But I'm here to tell you that it's not that big of a deal. And I also go on to say, hey, you can lose all that overnight. Because I say, hey, what would happen if you lost your job tomorrow? What would you do? How would you pay your bills? Forget paying them. How would you eat? How long would you be able to go without a job? How would you pay your bills? How would you eat? How would you be able to afford your car payment, insurance, rent, mortgage? What would you do? Because 9 times out of 10, you probably don't have no savings. Everything's on credit. Even if you have a couple dollars in the bank, how long would it last? And see, most women, they'll say, I don't know. Because they only have one income in most cases. They have no, majority of women have no other skills in no other areas. They're solely dependent on the job, which is a dangerous place to be. But you can't tell these women that. They living out that fantasy, that American dream. And a lot of these women that come over here from these other countries, they figure out real quick, when they start getting older, that this American dream ain't what it is, because it didn't work out for them, because they've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. You know, all they did is when they came over here is got used and abused, most of these women, along with the ones that born and raised here. And a lot of these women that come from these other countries, they end up, once they get older, they end up going back to where they came from. Once the kids are, adult age or something like that, or once they done ran everybody away. Because, tell them what a lot of these women be going. They be going through all kind of unnecessary things that they didn't have to go down that path. But see, they come over here and they think that they're better than somebody like me that's born and raised here. They think they know something that I don't know. So I'm like, how do you figure you know more than me if I've been here longer than you? So they think they're better than me, know more than me, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So they'll go out there and try to live their dream, live in that fantasy, and get taken advantage of and ran through and get influenced to do almost anything you can imagine. And then eventually they end up getting laid off or quitting their job when they get older. Because at these big companies, once you get above age, like 50s, 60s, they don't want you in there no more. They're just tolerating you. They're trying to get rid of you. And then out with the old and with the new. They want young women in there. And a lot of these women, a lot of them fall into depression. A lot of them get upset. And what happens is the people that's closest to them, which is mostly the guy that they're close to at the time, they end up taking their frustrations out on the people that's closest to them. And then the guy is trying to figure out, hey, what's wrong with this woman? I don't deserve all this. So he don't really know what's going on with her. And what's really going on with her in most cases is she's taking out all that frustration, pain, and suffering out on the people that's closest to her, because things didn't work out for her because she couldn't live that American dream. But this is what usually happens, man. So, at the end of the day, nobody's doing anything by themselves. Unless you're like a working class person. Working class people usually go to their job. They'll go to the job, and once they leave the job, everybody disperse and go home. And I'll see you tomorrow or whenever. I see you when I see you. The rich people are people that's trying to go somewhere in life. They don't have that mindset. They be like, hey, they realize that it's going to take a team for them to accomplish whatever goals and dreams and aspirations that they want. You know what I'm saying? So there's no such thing as I'm a self-made millionaire. There's no such thing as a self-made person. Everyone has a team. Anybody that you see on television, even some people that you see online, even me. I have people that help me from time to time. I can't do everything by myself. Everybody has a team. That's how it is. If you don't have a team, if it's just you, you're not going to make it. That's how it is. You're not going to make it if it's just you. You know, but I know a lot of people want to look at some people like they're superhuman because that gives them the way out. They'll say, hey, that guy, that woman, he's great. But that ain't me. I can't do it. So that gives them a way out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think like this. So, just keep in mind that, see, in this country, you can live out your fantasies as long as you can. until it's time for you to get your wake-up call. So when it comes to these independent women, I don't even really get caught up into it because I know it's a bunch of BS. It doesn't really exist. It's just they're just trying to make themselves feel good or whatever, and I let them talk. But I'm not gonna be around anybody that's talking and thinking in that manner. Anyone that think that they're better than the man and all this crap. Oh, I'm equal. We're equal, and the woman should always be first, and all this. Come on, man. Look, there's some stuff that women can do, and there's some stuff that guys can do. Look, there's some stuff that women do I don't want to do, and vice versa. We're not equal. But there's some women that think, oh, I want a 50-50 relationship. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But see, these women want to live in that fantasy world. And it's not all women, but the majority. They want to live in that world where it's like, you're on cruise control, and they're not going to really get out of that fantasy until something happens in most cases. They're going to even losing the job, that usually wakes them up. And getting old. Those are really the two. Getting old and losing that good job that they had for a long time. Because they love their job, boy. That job is like an inspiration to them, motivation. It gets them up in the morning so they can go pay them bills, along with those credit cards and that car she has. And that mortgage, if she got one. That gets them up in the morning. Nothing else gonna really get them up. The kids ain't gonna really get them up. The husband ain't gonna really get them up. But that car payment and that mortgage, oh man. And oh yeah, can't forget. Gotta go shopping too. Gotta get my Coach bag. Gotta get those brand name clothes. Oh yeah. Because that makes them feel good. But you can lose all that in one night, in 1 week. You can lose all that. I've seen that happen countless amounts of time. People will consume a bunch of stuff, and they lost their job. They lost everything. Now they calling people because they need help. Nobody want to help them because they done treated everybody like dirt over the past 5, 10, 15 years, and ran everybody away. That ain't true independence, man. That ain't true independence, man. If you want some true independence, a good example of true independence is somebody like Nipsey Hussle. That's true independence. You leave a legacy. When you die, what are people gonna say about you? What are they gonna say about you? You think they're gonna be looking around and be like, oh man, she had that Rolls Royce and that Bentley, and she was standing in that castle? No, they're not gonna be talking about none of that stuff. You can't take none of that stuff with you. What people are gonna say about you are things that you did that impacted them. Maybe you inspired them. That's what's gonna move people. But anything on the surface level, that's just for show. That's all that is. So hey, I don't get caught up in the independent woman thing, and I let them do what they want to do. Cause I look at it like this: my next move got to be the best move. And so at the end of the day, either you in or you out. My life, my game, my show. So hey, you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. Check out my Patreon by clicking the link below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace!